Welcome to the That's a Sign podcast, a place where we delve into Western astrology to better understand ourselves and observe the intricate dance of planets and stars using the examples of famous personas. I'm your host, and I'd like to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by the MoonX app team. Look for us on the App Store and Google Play if you're hearing about us for the first time. We are in the midst of the vibrant, star-studded Leo season. Make yourselves comfortable as Leo takes center stage, eager for your attention. Moreover, this podcast is released close to August 8th, the Lionsgate portal, and the Perseids Starfall. Peaking between August 11th and August 13th, the Perseids are known for their bright, fast meteors, often leaving behind glowing trails as they streak through the Earth's atmosphere. The Perseids are named after the constellation Perseus, from which they appear to radiate. This annual meteor shower occurs as Earth passes through the debris left by the comet Swift-Tuttle. During its peak, observers in dark, clear skies can expect to see up to 100 meteors per hour. Astrologically, the Perseids occur during the height of Leo season, a time when the sun shines brightly, encouraging self-expression, creativity, and leadership. The meteor shower's fiery streaks across the sky mirror the bold and dynamic energy of Leo, inspiring us to embrace our inner fire and pursue our passions with courage. Also, the Lionsgate portal opens when the sun in Leo aligns with the star Sirius, forming a cosmic alignment that peaks in August. This event, occurring during the astrological season of Leo, is not just a celestial happening, but a moment of powerful cosmic synergy caused by the connection of the sun with a star of wealth, success, and fame, Sirius. The name Sirius comes from Greek and translates as bright. This star has been known since ancient times and is mentioned in the oldest astronomical texts. It played a significant role in many cultures. The ancient Egyptians worshipped it as the embodiment of the goddess Isis, and its risings were used to calculate the flooding of the Nile. In ancient Greek mythology, Sirius is the dog of the hunter Orion. Sirius also held special significance in ancient China, Mesopotamia, and Polynesia. Since prehistoric times, its appearance and visibility in the sky after a period of absence were considered the beginning of a new astrological cycle and a powerful time for manifestations and wish-making related to wisdom, wealth, recognition, and fame. Let's clarify why we decided to talk about stars in this podcast. First and foremost, the main focus of astrology is the so-called wandering stars, the planets we all know well. Apart from the sun and planets, the sky is filled with countless stars of various brightness and sizes, but they are all far beyond our solar system. These stars are called fixed stars because, when observed from Earth, they do not change their apparent position relative to other objects in the sky. Astrologers have been particularly drawn to the first magnitude stars, the brightest ones in the constellations. Some of these stars are found in the 12 zodiac constellations along the ecliptic, while others are in different constellations. Near the ecliptic, there are 4 bright stars, all of which are the principal stars in zodiac constellations. These include Aldebaran, the brightest star in the constellation Taurus, Regulus in Leo, Spica in Virgo, and Antares in Scorpio. It's important to understand that fixed stars, on their own, have subtle influence. Astrologers look for their effects mainly in conjunction with planets. In a natal chart, the position of fixed stars can indicate talents, abilities, and even one's destiny. Each fixed star has its own meaning and influence on a person, depending on the sector of the natal chart where it is located. So, the previously mentioned Sirius rarely appears in a person's natal chart. It is a stroke of luck to be born with it in your horoscope. Under the influence of Sirius, a person gains success, self-expression, leadership, and goal achievement abilities. It is believed that a person with Sirius in their natal chart possesses outstanding and bright qualities and is capable of great things. Among the celebrities born under the influence of Sirius are the 14th Dalai Lama and Queen Elizabeth II, who has the moon in Leo, with a star conjunct the planet of power, Pluto. How can you find Sirius in the sky? If the constellation Orion, which consists of 3 equally spaced stars in a line, is tilted toward the horizon, You just need to mentally extend the straight line, and you will see Sirius. This creates a kind of walk of fame, almost like in Hollywood, visible in the sky during the Leo season. Now that we've found another reason for the stark quality and bright traits of solar Leos, let's delve into Leo's dossier. Planet, Sun. The Sun in astrology represents the core self, one's identity, and the essence of who they are. For Leos, the Sun is not just a planet in their chart, it's their ruling planet, amplifying their need for recognition, creativity, and self-expression. Leos are driven by a desire to be seen and appreciated, and they possess a natural confidence that helps them lead and inspire others. Element, fire. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, are all about impulses and inspiration. They light the way for all the other signs, which might otherwise slip into a dull, passive existence. Fire signs need courage to live their fullest, most vibrant lives. If this fiery energy doesn't get expressed, it can burn them out from the inside. And yeah, that's as scary as it sounds. So it's super important for Leos to let that fire fuel the story of their life. Modality, fixed. As a fixed sign, Leos, along with Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius, are great at keeping things consistent and steady. Each fixed sign has its own specialty, and for Leos, as a fire sign, it's all about stable ideals, endless inspiration, and existential courage. This means they can bounce back, even after the darkest times. The eternal fire in their heart keeps them optimistic and idealistic, which is why they invest in themselves, their passions, and their relationships. Uranus, the planet of innovation, rebellion, and sudden change, feels quite uncomfortable in the sign of Leo. The fixed nature of Leo prefers consistency and recognition, while Uranus thrives on unpredictability and shaking up the status quo. On the flip side, Leo doesn't have any planets that are considered to be in detriment if they fall specifically within their sign. And since Leo is ruled by the Sun, most people born during Leo season have a natural desire to care for and help others, even without being asked. Why delve into the jungle of assumptions? After all, the Sun also warms our entire planet, helping all living things grow and thrive without being asked, right? So if you have a solar Leo friend, you're almost certainly lucky to have someone who will always come to your aid and support you. However, there is another side of the coin. If your Leo acquaintance is not quick to help, they may be too focused on themselves. But how could it be otherwise when you are the king of beasts and the crown on your head is a rightful attribute? Sometimes, such people may be called selfish. However, in our view, these Leos simply haven't yet had the opportunity to fully unleash their creative potential and channel it productively. For example, shining on stage under bright spotlights to the thunderous applause of an appreciative audience. In fact, many solar Leos have realized their creative potential this way. While preparing this podcast, we were amazed by the countless number of world-famous personalities, actors, and actresses born during this period. Ben Affleck, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Mila Kunis, David Duchovny, and many others. It would be strange if, during the season of Leo, the king of beasts, we only met actors and actresses. No, this time is also rich in the birth of political figures and rulers from different eras. Emperor of the French, King of Italy, Napoleon Bonaparte, former Cuban president and revolutionary Fidel Castro, 42nd President of the United States Bill Clinton, and 44th President of the United States Barack Obama. There are also those who have revealed their Leo creative potential in multiple fields, in art, on stage, and in politics. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger, an American bodybuilder, entrepreneur, actor, producer, and Austrian-born politician. He was the 38th governor of California and is now the chief action officer at Netflix. It makes sense, considering he not only has the sun in the leader sign, Leo, but also responsible Saturn, influential Pluto, and the cusps of the second house of finances and the third house of communication. As you can see, the season of Leo greatly favors fame and recognition. So, our advice is, if you want to help a Leo unleash their creative potential, be sure to acknowledge their achievements and praise them often, keeping the fire of their self-esteem burning, and a Leo will do so much for you. as generously as the energy of the sun and the majestic royal breadth of a Leo's soul can. Let's continue our list of research questions about the nature of this sign. Honest, creative, and childishly naive. All these also describe Leos. This zodiac sign is invisibly linked to the energy of the 5th house in the natal birth chart. In addition to creativity, love, and numerous hobbies, it also governs children. Just remember how children are sincere and truthful in their statements, and you will have a better understanding of where Leos get their drive for truth and justice. At the same time, just as children can be easily deceived, so can Leos be naive and trusting. They simply have a huge, honest, creative, and loving heart. On this creative note, let's take a look at the natal charts of famous personalities to understand the nature of Leos better, and possibly get inspired by their examples, finding similarities with your own natal chart or those of your Leo acquaintances. Madonna, an American singer-songwriter, pop star, dancer, music producer, actress, director, and even children's books author. All these roles were bestowed upon Madonna, thanks in part to her sun, Venus and Uranus, which are in Leo. This endows Madonna with leadership qualities, a passionate desire for recognition, a bright, charismatic appearance, and a penchant for shocking flamboyance. Interestingly, Sun and Uranus in Madonna's chart are gathered not in the 1st house of personality and brand, but in the 12th house. The 12th house is often considered the house of isolation, loneliness, and fears. But it is important to remember that a 12th house filled with personal planets, especially with a cusp in Leo, can easily produce a famous artist or an actor who constantly has to assume different roles, playing someone else and hiding their true self behind masks. Moreover, Madonna has a strong, eventful connection between her 12th house and her 1st house. This is due to her moon in the 1st house in conjunction with Mercury and Pluto in the 12th house, as well as the ruler of her ascendant, which is located simultaneously in both the 1st and 12th houses. This indicates that circumstances push such a person towards spirituality, esotericism, or attribute them iconic qualities. And how interestingly this plays out in the life of the pop diva. Even those who are far from thoroughly studying the biography of the superstar will undoubtedly draw parallels with Madonna not only as the queen and icon of pop music, but also with the religious organization to which she belongs, the Kabbalah Center. This branch of Judaism considers the text of the Torah sacred and studies its infinite multitude of meanings. Madonna became a member of the center in the 90s and even performed at several concerts with her troupe wearing t-shirts with the inscription, "Kabbalists do it better." This is a perfect demonstration of Mercury, the planet of communication, in the sign of the perfectionist Virgo, which for Madonna operates in 2 houses, the 1st house of personality and self-positioning, and the 12th house of spirituality and the stage, with a cusp in Leo. An interesting fact is that in our natal charts, the placement of the sun can tell us not only about ourselves, but also about our father. For instance, Madonna's father was a conservative Catholic who went to church every Sunday and served as a deacon, another example of how a 12th house sun may manifest. We doubt there is any need to recount Madonna's star-studded biography. Many facts from her life you'll remember yourself. Instead, let's emphasize her Leo sun and the connection between her 12th and 1st houses with a quote from the pop diva herself. A lot of people are afraid to say what they want. That's why they don't get what they want. In the season of Leo, let this quote from Madonna, whose life, despite a series of setbacks, is full of fantastic triumphs, become an inspiring source for you to desire more, boldly declare it, and passionately take action. No matter what your zodiac sign is, our sun always responds to sincere and courageous wishes. So why not wish the very best for yourself during the season and the portal of Leo? Our next podcast hero is a painter, graphic artist, actor, writer, director, and cinematographer, Andy Warhol. He is the founder of the Homo Universale ideology and the creator of commercial pop art, gaining worldwide fame for his works Campbell's Soup Cans and Marilyn Diptych. His natal chart is a visually expressive portrait of a creator's life, where it is truly enlightening to examine the fiery Leo energy in its entirety. First, not only does Warhol have his ascendant in Leo, but also the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Neptune, which form a stellium. A stellium is the conjunction of 3 or more planets within the same sign or house in a natal chart, which is meant to work and manifest together. Thus, a stellium in the 5th house or in the sign of Leo, like Andy Warhol's, endows a person with bright, creative talents. These individuals are natural leaders who can invest a lot of energy into their children, romantic relationships, life's pleasures, or in Andy's case, his creative endeavors and artistic projects. Secondly, his first house planet of art, Neptune in Leo, is in conjunction with the royal star Regulus, which grants high status, leadership, and power. In this position, these qualities are achieved through developed artistic talents. Thirdly, Warhol's Sun, Saturn, and Uranus form a favorable trine. Saturn, which is responsible for professionalism and represents the proverbial 10,000 hours of practice and repetition, is positioned on the cusp of the 5th house of creativity. This placement provides constant experimentation and innovation in the realm of creativity and art, thanks to Uranus. So, in parallel with creating pop art pieces, Warhol's also made avant-garde films. Among his works are a black-and-white 5-hour recording of a sleeping man, poet John Giorno, an 8-hour film of the Empire State Building, and the film Love, featuring fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld in the main role. In 1979, Andy Warhol took on the artistic painting of a BMW M1 race car. He remarked, "I try to portray what speed looks like. When a car moves at high speed, all lines and colors become blurred." This again highlights the influence of fiery and fast Uranus in Aries, Neptune, and Mercury in Leo in Andy Warhol's birth chart. By the way, Andy Warhol was one of the first to revolutionarily apply silkscreen printing as a method for creating paintings. This is how a stellium Mercury in Leo can manifest in life, in trine with Uranus and square with expansive Jupiter, which in Warhol's chart is located in the 10th house of career and fame, in conjunction with Chiron. A great love for technology, flamboyance, and artistic experimentation is also expressed by the fact that Andy Warhol's only wife, he said, was his tape recorder, which he brought with him wherever he went, using it to interview the eccentric crew of downtown creatives that surrounded him. Warhol famously never married. Now, let's solidify what we've learned with a few biographical details. Remember we talked about the sun highlighting the traits of the father in the natal chart? Andy Warhol's Leo sun is located simultaneously in the 12th house of isolation and secrets and the 1st house. But unlike Madonna, it manifested differently. Guess where the artist's father worked? Not in a church, but in the enclosed space of a coal mine. However, according to his brother, the famous Andy Warhol was a very religious person, though he didn't want people to see it, considering his religious beliefs a personal matter. And here are a couple of facts to understand how Andy Warhol came to art in such an original way through stencils, copies, and soup cans. It is believed that his mother was the most influential person in Andy Warhol's life, and that she was the one who spurred the development of his talents. Remember that the moon represents mother in the natal chart. Indeed, in the artist's natal chart, his sun in fiery Leo is in a favorable aspect, a trine, with his 9th house moon in fiery Aries. Moreover, it is known that Andy Warhol's mother also made a living from art. She embroidered paintings, drew, practiced calligraphy, painted Easter eggs, and made flowers from tin cans and corrugated paper. And Andy Warhol himself, a year before his iconic work, Campbell's Soup Cans, created a design for Coca-Cola cans in 1960, which brought him recognition as an artist with an extraordinary vision of art. As you can see, Leo season is the time when the energy of the sun illuminates our path to self-expression, creativity, and leadership. Today, we also learned about the influence of stars in general, and specifically about Sirius and Regulus, which symbolize brightness, success, and high status. May these inspiring stories and astrological facts help you ignite your stars and unlock your potential. Harness the powerful energy of Leo season to achieve your goals, and let the light of the stars and planets guide you to success and recognition. Remember, our podcast is brought to you by the MoonX app team. Spread the word on social media, give us likes, share the app with friends, and join us as we explore the fascinating world of astrology together. Until next time on That's a Sign, And if you were looking for a sign, this is it. See you soon!